Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Dreamy CEO podcast. Today I wanted to welcome Wandi, a business coach who created a multi six-figure business during her 9 to 5 with a baby on her boob, which is insane. So, hello, how are you today?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I am so excited. I know that we were chatting about this, but it's like, I can't believe you and I haven't done this already. We have known each other for so long.
I
Like,
know.
how is this possible?
I know, even when we had a serious conversation in the DMs, I was looking back at our previous messages because I feel like we know each other so well. I think that's just through our content, but
Yeah,
I was like we
yeah.
haven't talked that much, which was crazy. So, I'd love for you to, introduce yourself and, tell those who are tuning in a little bit more about you and your business journey.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, hey everybody, I am Wandi. My name is Wanda. Just people call me Wandi just because, like, yeah, everybody's friends. Like, we are friends, right? So you can call me Wandi. I am a business mentor. As Vicky was saying, I used to have an engineering job, just working to this Fortune 500 company. And I actually was in corporate for 13 years before I resigned. So
Wow.
that's crazy. Even though I started my business kind of like in 2019, but then in 2020 I took it online. So when I took it online, of course there are a few challenges. Like you cannot, not that you can't, but for me it was not the goal to run a business solely on referrals, right? And I had no idea how to run operations. The way that everything shifted in 2020. So I ended up taking the online business management certification at that time just to serve my clients better and and just like understand what the hell I was, was I gonna do because I had a 9 to 5. At some point, I ended up getting pregnant, and of course, everything changed. Everything changed. Like for the moms out there that are listening, it's like, of course, everything changed because at some point there was a shift. Like my business is not my baby is my baby, right? But that doesn't mean that your business does not require the quality of work that you want, depending on your why, that you want for your business. For me, it's all about generational wealth. So I have to, like, I ended up burning my business to the ground, changed my offer suite, and my boundaries were tight, more tight than before. And yeah, everything shifted. So I became more efficient. I improved everything in my life. I started dealing with postpartum anxiety. It was really hard.
Mm.
And but after that, everything like clicked in the most beautiful way. So in something really personal for me was that my husband and I decided that for me to quit my 9 to 5, I was making 6 figures in my 9 to 5. Like we wanted to replace the income, but also pay all of our debt. That's why that's beautiful headline or like
Yeah.
created a multi 6 figure business with a baby on my boob and the 9 to 5. It was because of that, because we wanted to do some things. And my husband is a CPA, an accountant.
Yeah.
So he was like, dude, okay, if we're gonna do this and if you make zero revenue 1 month, like I want to make sure that we got this, which has never happened, thankfully. But of course, like he wanted that, and that's what we did.
Yeah.
So I actually, my last day in my 9 to 5 was in May 2023. So
Hmm.
that's like what, 6 months ago or
It
so?
it was
7? Crazy.
absolutely insane when I first saw you posted it. I was like, she was working a full-time 9 to 5 job while building
Yeah.
your business or, working in your business and being a mom as well. I just thought you were so and you are so incredible for being able
Thank
to
you.
balance all of that.
Thank
Um,
you.
I myself, like very early 20s, I'm just about to turn 23 and I'm having like a little bit of
I
a crisis
know.
about that. But like I can't even imagine because um, the amount of time and energy and like focus, like you said, your business is your baby until you become a mom and your baby is your baby. And it's absolutely insane to even balance like a 9 to 5, growing and scaling your business and being a mom. So I'd love for you to kind of share a little bit more about how that was possible for you because like that is such a superwoman like moment. How was that
Oh my
even
gosh.
possible for you? And is it possible for others? Like, is it sustainable or do you have to really prioritize some things in the beginning? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Definitely, you have to let go of some things. For me, I had to let go of the image of being picture perfect.
Mm.
And maybe that's some corporate trauma right there, because in corporate, I was the girl that was, walking at the office in stilettos and pencil
Yeah.
skirt. I mean, I'm a millennial, not a Gen Z. Now I don't use heels anymore, but when I was working, yeah, I was like that girl. So yeah, I at some point my messaging and everything was getting blurry because I wanted to be picture perfect. Now, when I when I threw all of that out of the window, everything clicked. Now, other things, if we are thinking strategy, like there are things that you need to consider, right? You guys, if you have a 9 to 5 or you're neurodivergent or you have a baby, like your day is not gonna look like the same as Coach Karen, the 7-figure CEO that slept 12 hours last night.
Yeah.
Probably won't, right? So we need to act accordingly. Of course, you need to identify your money making tasks, but it's even deeper than that. Something that I feel like was a pivotal moment for me was that I did that I needed to master my foundations. And like you never stop working on the foundations of your business. Like you never do that. Like
I
even
so
Apple,
agree.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be it's talking right now the ideal client for an iPhone. Right now, they are doing that because like those foundations you never throw them away. But if you are trying everything and nothing is working, chances are that it's more strategy than everything else. And strategy and foundational work means mastering, getting clarity in everything that you do, right? Getting clarity in your brand, in your positioning, uh, the foundations of marketing and sales, your client delivery. And for those of you who are thinking about why client delivery, you guys, your current client is your next client. I don't care what anybody says. So
Yeah.
all of those things, you need to master those at the beginning. Like I don't care if you're making 1 to 5K a month. You need to be mastering that. Otherwise, it's gonna be pretty hard for you to continue to scale to whatever number it's your goal in your heart and in your mind. And for me, it's something, when I said that I burned my business to the ground, it also had to do with offers and pricing. Like I changed everything in my business. So I actually post something along the lines of what I'm about to say today, because I changed my offer suite so I could support at least 20 clients at close proximity in the most beautiful way. So I could support them and the client experience to be chef kiss. But
Mhm.
that's something that needs strategy. So
Yeah.
I will say, and maybe it's not what you want to hear, you guys, because it's like there's no secret sauce. You need to master your foundations if you want to scale,
Yes.
whatever your circumstances are.
Yes, I love that. And I love how you share that example of like how can I serve like at least 20 close proximate clients with the limited time that you have. So whether that
Yeah,
is like if you
hours.
were
I have 2 hours.
yeah, exactly. If you were to, spread yourself too thin and only offer like weekly one-on-one coaching, that's 20 hours every single week, and you're a mom, you're balancing a 9 to 5, that makes it literally impossible for you, if you want it sustainably. And so, when you're leveraging, let's say 2 hours a week to serve 20 people, that makes it a lot more realistic. And it's also possible for you and possible for your clients to see the same results and capacity working with you. So I love that. When what was like the moment that you realized that you're like, okay, I'm overcomplicating everything. Like, of course, like the strategies, I'm overthinking everything. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Like, how can we get back to the basics? What was like kind of like the first epiphany moment for you? It's like, okay, we're gonna have to burn everything to the ground here.
I was like, it was at 3 a.m. I remember it. I was at 3 a.m. I was waking up to feed my baby. At some point, I was exclusively breastfeeding. So that's why I say, like, yeah, with a baby on my boob, because I was breastfeeding. Like, even my clients sometimes, like, I have the privilege to pay for a nanny. And sometimes I had the nanny like coming here in calls and I was just breastfeeding my baby and I was like working with the desk, like making sure that my books were not out in the Zoom call. But bottom line is that the moment was at 3 a.m. I was breastfeeding my baby, and I was like, something like this is not working. Like I cannot keep, boxering like using boxer in between 9 to 5 calls
Mm-hmm.
and doing everything myself because I didn't want to even hire somebody at that point because I was trying to quit my 9 to 5. For me, it was like, okay, this is not working, something needs to change. So and I do have a framework. I implemented that framework in my business even before I had my baby, and that's the framework. It's called the FYB framework, Fuel Your Business framework. And I literally took myself again through the same framework. I was like, okay, Wandi, if you're teaching this shit, you need to go back to it yourself. Otherwise, like, what are we doing, bestie? So I and I went back to it, and it was literally like reverse engineering everything that I wanted, and then the goals, and then with a little bit of strategy, of course. But it was like, okay, you have this amount of hours per day to work on your business. How many hours realistically you have? And then, of course, understanding my capacity to support clients at close proximity, and how much money did I want to make, right? Because it's okay if you want to make 2K a month. Like I started my business to make $280 per month.
Wow.
And look at us now, right? But, so I was like, okay, if I need to make this amount of money, and probably you guys went through this already. We are entering 2024. Of course, like probably at least you did something along the lines of selecting your word for the year and taking your money goal and dividing it by 12, right?
Yeah.
So take that a step further and understand your capacity, your bandwidth, your pricing, and your offers, and how aligned do you feel, how happy do you feel with your business. And if something is not clicking, chances are it's your foundations. And I don't like so many people out there are gonna say that you can build your dream business solely with your marketing, and they are not wrong, but your marketing is gonna work for you once you have clarity in everything else that we're talking about right now. My marketing was doing shit for me when I was at this stage that we're talking about.
Yeah, 100%. First of all, I want to touch on the point that like I love that we're female founders working with female founders who also understand that you're
Oh, yeah.
you're like, breastfeeding on your call and it's so like supportive. So first of all, I love that.
Yeah,
And
you're right.
yeah, and just really having like that culture that you set the tone. And the second point, I mean, with the marketing, I always preach that marketing is square one because
Mhm.
marketing brings in clients and allows you to work with them and reinvest back into your business. Marketing is square one, but to have an incredible client experience, to deliver specific results, to retain them and have them refer you to other people, for you to for them to see the results, for you to preach that into your framework, that all goes
Yeah,
back into marketing, right? And like all goes into a circle, so everything works cohesively together. And so
yeah,
when we're looking at the bottlenecks in our business, and when you're feeling overwhelmed or feeling like I have no idea where to start, like start with the foundationals, right? Like you said, your offers, your pricing, your time, and then like think about your marketing and sales, because most likely if there's a bottleneck in like one specific area, it's a domino effect everywhere else. And so like it's so important to go back into like look at the basics, like again, almost like looking at your business in the bigger picture, or kind of detach yourself away from it. Like you said, like, okay, I need to bring myself through my signature framework that I teach for my clients. Like I need to bring myself back into that like original, spot, to burn your business to the ground and like rebuild everything. And I think that is such an incredible moment for you to one, be self-aware enough to realize that, put your ego aside to realize that and do something about it. And three, be able to, put your emotions and your feelings of not feeling like you wasted time or being so hard on yourself and everything to make the change and create a better foundation moving forward for your business, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And I want to add something there, you guys, because sometimes when you're in these stages, when you feel like you want to burn everything to the ground, or you feel or you think to yourself, like, when will it be my time? So
Mm,
many people out there, if they are not scaling, if they have been working on this for at least 8 months, you are thinking to yourself, when will it be my time? And we all know this feeling. Like
yeah.
everybody that you see in the online space knows this feeling, even if they are extremely successful right now. But when you feel like this, I want to encourage you to continue to show up, right? And that's something that I did. I did, even though it was feeling hard, right?
Hmm.
It was feeling like when I came back from maternity leave, I had to kind of like activate my audience again, right? Because I was not as present
Yeah.
as on Instagram. But if you go through, like, if I give you my cell phone right now, and if you go to my archive on Instagram, you will see that I never stopped showing up. Like,
Hmm.
and that is a compounding effect, right? The success that I have right now is because of everything that I did last year and the year before and the year before that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. Otherwise, also Vicky wouldn't be here, right? If
Yeah.
we are like, if you go through our stories, if we give you our cell phones, you will see that we show up practically every single day. And the compounding effect, you don't want to lose that momentum. And it's hard, right? Chances are that by now you realize that the best piece of content in the world didn't do shit for you if you don't have other foundations in place, as we were talking about.
Hmm.
But that doesn't mean that you cannot continue to master your craft and keep showing up in a way that feels aligned to you.
Yeah, that compounding effect is so underrated. Like
Yeah.
the amount that the more you show up and are consistent with it, it becomes second nature to you at some point. And you're always evolving, right? You're always finding more about yourself. You're learning more about yourself. I swear, and I say this all the time, but if I didn't have my business, genuinely feel like I would know myself to the core like I am now. You know what I mean? Like I would
Yes.
not really truly know who I am without my business because I had to discover those things to showcase that, right?
Love
Um,
that. I wish
so
that I had that mindset at
yeah.
your age, because it took, hello, 13 years in corporate. Fuck, that's a lot. I
When you
don't want that for
said,
my kids.
yeah, when you said like look at our archives, I'm literally like I was like hamster wheel in my head. I was like, wow, literally, I don't think I spent more than a week with showing up on Instagram for my business at least. And again, showing up looks different in many ways, but even like, you know, being able to pull really forward or backwards whenever you need to make it sustainable for you. Um, another point I do want to say as well is like when you're working on your business, doesn't mean everything else stops, right? It's like I loved this example I saw on Instagram somewhere, and it was like, when Starbucks gets that shipment in the back of their coffee beans and their juices and everything like that, it's not like, okay, we're not serving any customers right now, like they're still serving in the front, they're still like working on making the drinks, and the same thing applies to business. Like just because you're working on your foundations does not mean that everything is paused. And or same thing with marketing. I see this a lot. Is like I'm not going to show up until my branding is perfect. And like, it's just so,
Let's see, what are we doing
yeah, it's
again?
just
Like,
so easy to fall back into that and like kind of put ourselves in that mindset. But again, the mindset should be like I'm showing up. I'm doing all the things and I'm working on my business behind the scenes as well. And the most I say this is so underrated as well is like showcase that you're working on your business. Like normalize these conversations. It's like, hey guys, like refining my offers right now, but I know this one specific, or I'm still doing one-on-one coaching, and that like is always going to be
boom.
incredible. right? Boom.
Yeah.
And that solves the problem.
And that should be part of your brand. Like everything that you do, if you make, if you have a community that is gonna support you and they want to be part of the whole process, when you do that, even your launches get easier because
Mhm.
your community is part of the whole thing and they want to grab whatever the hell you're creating.
Yeah.
So, and I definitely get that because I'm an engineer, right? So if like you could leave me in Kartra or Dubsado or whatever automation I want to create that day for
Yeah.
myself or my clients, and I could live there. I could forget to show up completely because I love that. But sometimes we use that as an excuse.
Yeah.
Uh,
100%.
so yeah, you guys, people want to be part of your lives, whatever the hell is going on right now. I don't care
Mhm.
if you think that your life is not sexy. Like you can showcase whatever you feel that is aligned to you. For example, I don't showcase my baby every single day. Like it's not aligned to me, that's fine. But that doesn't mean that people don't ask me about Alec in my
Yeah.
DMs, or
Mhm.
even they ask about my husband.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, there are definitely some things, again, like we as humans, we as female founders, we're so multifaceted and we get to show what we want to show and when we want to show it, but also like I love that you said like don't think that whatever you want to show is not sexy and you don't want to show it, right? And like you said, the engineer kind of brain for Kartra or like being in these like apps all day. I totally agree with you. I'm such a tech girl myself. And I
Yeah,
remember
it's
like
exciting.
I had my monthly membership in Podia and this was about like 7 months ago and I was switching over all my video lessons and everything over to Kartra and like of course it was really fun for me, but I was like, how can I showcase this? How can I build buzz around this of the experience? So I was talking about why I set up the things the way they are, right? Why have
Why?
I yeah. And when you're showcasing it becomes easier for you to communicate it more because you're starting to bring up the why, the how, the when, like all of those important factors that go into everything. So always showcase behind the scenes, but at whatever you want to show. And yeah, I love that people, DM you about your family. It's so cute.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
And something else that I wanted to say about that is that you guys, like the average consumer, it's getting smarter.
Yeah.
We have like 2 seconds to grab attention in this pool of a lot of people selling a lot of things and probably selling the same thing as you. So what makes you different? What makes you you? What makes your ideal client? I don't like that word. I like to say dreamy client. Like what makes your dream client buy from you and not from your competitors?
Mm-hmm.
And like this, if you showcase or sell the same story sequence as everybody else, like that's gonna just blend in the online space. But what
Yeah.
makes you different, and that's your unique circumstances, like you have anxiety, showcase that, like you're a mom or you are a homebody, and maybe your dogs are your it factor, whatever it is, we want to see it.
Yeah, I
Show me.
love that.
It's probably gonna make me buy from you.
Yes, 100%. And I love that you were saying like there's so much buzz in the online space and your dreamy clients are consuming so much content. Like if you
Yeah.
kind of reflect on how much content you consume on a daily basis or screen time in the sense of like even laying in bed and scrolling through TikTok and Instagram, of course, like it's just inevitable how much we scroll in this day and age. But, um, you know, take up that space. You are literally taking up like 0.1 second, 0.2 seconds from your Instagram stories, but you really want to grab their attention. So you create that community, you create that connection so they look forward to clicking on your Instagram stories, right? And we all have those people that were like scrolling or on when they come up on TikTok, you're like, oh, I gotta watch their video. So you want to start showing up to the point that your content makes it bingeable for your dreamy ideal clients to consume more from you, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a business owner in 2024, you're automatically a content creator and
Mm.
you're almost an influencer, whether you like that word or not. But you're influencing people to move, to chase their dreams, to change the statistics, to take up space. Like if you think about it that way and the impact that you want to leave in the world, why the hell wouldn't you show up, the behind the scenes of your boring life? We love that. We
Yeah.
love boring. I don't want to see another influencer picture perfect. I want to see you.
Yes, I love that. And
Yeah.
and bringing them along the journey with you. I remember like, okay, no one wants to see me making coffee. That is so typical like in the online space, it's coffee. And then, I start talking about that a lot more and showcasing like me actually making coffee in time lapse or B-roll or like me doing like iced vanilla latte chat, and that actually sparked so much like connection and so many other women reaching out and things like that. And even if you think it's the most mundane thing ever, it's still part of you, it's still part of your story, it's still part of your lived experiences. Showcase that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't actually go out and to get coffee just because in my mind and in my heart, my coffee is the best.
Love it.
If you go to my living room right now, not living room, that my kitchen right now, you will see that my coffee maker is the most expensive thing in my house. In
Wow.
my house. So, but that's at some point in my life, I thought that I couldn't like make coffee part of the behind the scenes experience for me. And of course, then I realized that that's not true. And now you have your iced vanilla latte shots, and I have like people making coffee with me and judging my latte art, which
Yes.
love.
I love that. And I love that you know how to make latte art because I
I
got a
try.
I got an espresso machine as well, and it took me 9 months. I did, and this is the thing
Yeah.
about it, like, and I learned a lot from this because it was testing me every single day. I was a little like every single time because I was like to my boyfriend, "You want a latte?" Just so I can experiment more. But that's the thing, like you might not be good at something when you do it the first time, the second time, or maybe 9 months later, and you still can't make a darn heart. But when you practice it every day, your technique gets better. You become like, okay, I know what I did wrong last time. I know where I can improve on. You learn, right? And I really highly recommend in any coffee drinkers who are tuning in here and you have an espresso machine at home, I dare you to try to make latte art because if anything, it's gonna make you a better entrepreneur. I promise you, every morning routine, you're learning a lesson.
Well,
So,
yeah, it's true that I take pride in this, but I always say this, like you should always be a student. We
mhm.
don't like the person that stops being a student, potentially it's living a whole different life than you right now. So I mean, you bought the machine. You probably saw a lot of YouTube videos and
Yeah.
stuff, trying to know how to move the uh, wrist,
Yeah,
how to
tap
move
the
the wrist.
bubbles.
Yeah, and try to make it work. And the same thing is, it's we do the same thing in business, right? Probably at the beginning you started watching YouTube videos and a lot of TikTok videos. You have a lot saved until you decided to move and take the leap and invested in a mentor. Then you potentially learn something else. I always like to say that I might not be your first mentor, but I will potentially be your last for the next probably 2 years.
I love that.
It's because like when you make your first, second, third investment, you learn so much, but then you learn a lot about yourself and the things that you want for yourself, for your business, and what to look for in a mentor, right?
Hmm.
So, and I'm pretty sure that your investment journey is similar, right? Potentially, the
Yes.
mentor that you're working with today is not the first mentor that you invested in, and there's beauty in that because we love them all, and every single one teach you something. It's the
Mhm.
same thing, but we always have to be a student, and it's being a student doesn't mean only taking certifications or looking at YouTube videos. It also means investing in somebody that is gonna teach you things so you can fly solo at some point if you
Yeah,
want.
100%. And, I have coaching clients who have re-signed with me multiple times, and they always say the same thing. They're like, I love that you understand things about me better than like I know myself sometimes, or like predictable in a way. And I think that's like the most amazing thing ever. And I totally agree with you because, mentorship is so sacred, and it's like the moments where you have your partner, right? And um sometimes it feels like, oh wow, they know me better than I know myself, and you just need that partner for your business, because that means like you're being, supported. You are, you have your biggest cheerleader right by your side to, guide you along, who know your lived experiences and your story, right? So
That's
um
beautiful.
mentorship is so beautiful, and I love it. All right, I loved our conversation today and everything that we talked about. I would love for you to share, for those who are tuning in, where they can find you, different ways that they can work with you, and different things that are happening in your world right now that you're excited about.
Thank you. Thank you. I am honored to be here. Thank you so much, Vicky. So you guys, I know that Vicky will probably put all of these in the podcast description and stuff, but I'm Wandi Ruiz. You can find me on any social media platform as the Wandi Ruiz. If you are looking for somebody that it's gonna support you to widely innovate no matter your circumstances, and you're looking to make from 5 to 25K months on repeat cash, like probably I'm the brand mentor for you. I'm the mentor that, as I said before, I will probably be your last mentor for the next 2 years, and I love that for me and for you. But depending on where you are in business, and if you were looking for somebody that it's all strategy, no fluff, I'm your girl. Like, send me a DM, let's chat about it. And even if you're not looking to invest in me, I would love to hear from you. So hit me
Yes,
up.
I love that. Thank you so much. I loved our conversation, and I am so happy for those who are tuning in to connect with you. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you.